Please welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. So lovelies. I came across this video on my For You and I thought to share where this Indian American woman came out to talk about how sinners is something that she can't even place her hands on. She talked about how the movie is nothing to write home about. Like, she castigated the movie, talking about how it has no meaning. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. Alright lovelies, wanna just share this video, subscribe, and let's dive into it.
A lot of y'all are about to be real mad at me, but I thought this movie was terrible. I really wanted to like it. Okay, before you come for me, please let me explain. The first part of this video is gonna have no spoilers because even if I didn't enjoy the movie, I still will always encourage people to go to the movies, so you should still go and form your own opinion. The second part of this video, I will have spoilers because I'm gonna get more into it to build my case and justify why I didn't really think it was a good movie. Sinners is a period action horror film produced, written, and directed by Ryan Coogler, the director of Black Panther, Creed, Fruitvale Junction. I have enjoyed his previous work. Set in 1932 Mississippi, Sinners stars Michael B. Jordan in a dual role playing twin brothers who return to their hometown with their newfound wealth to start a juke joint for the local Black community. A large portion of this film is focused on the world building and getting to know the twins as well as their cousin Sammy, who's an aspiring musician and singer. The movie starts with narration that music can be so powerful that it can awaken spirits, and sometimes it can awaken dark spirits. So Sammy's father, who's a pastor, advises Sammy against performing at this juke joint that the twins, his cousins, are opening, but Sammy goes anyway. The setup was good. I was enjoying getting to know the characters and I was hooked. I was excited to see where it would go, but it just takes such a long time on that the payout better be great. And it wasn't there. It just wasn't satisfying enough. And there were also a lot of characters and little things that happen that never get revisited or addressed. And it's kind of just confusing and it makes the story very convoluted and messy. There's this one scene that everybody's talking about as one of the greatest things they've ever seen. And it's when Sammy sings in the club. And I thought it was actually very cool. I thought the way that it was filmed was super cool, the style and the direction, but it just felt very out of place. It took me completely out of the movie, and I thought it would have been better off in like a concept for a music video or something like that rather than this movie, because while that's playing, they're also bringing in the narration from the beginning where they're talking about music being so powerful that it can conjure spirits generationally. But then after that, the movie goes a completely different direction, so it's kind of just confusing to me, and I felt like the third act completely unravels and falls apart. Okay, this is where I will be discussing spoilers, so if you haven't seen this movie and you still want to watch it, scroll away. Why even bring up the evil spirits again if right after that you're all of a sudden it's a vampire movie, everybody's passing around garlic to chew on? I was like, huh? What's happening? What's going on? And then we're like hit with all this new information like, oh, vampires are actually different from these dark spirits that we've been talking about the whole first half of the movie because they will always remain on the earth. They can never rest in peace. Okay? We're doing a vampire movie now? Okay, cool. That's still fine. But then let's do a vampire movie. Let's go all out. And I just thought that it wasn't scary. There was all this buildup and suspense, but then nothing was really happening. It felt like a Marvel movie. Somebody said it was like the Marvelification of From Dusk Till Dawn. And that's what the vibe was, because it was like all this world building, all this suspense and everything for like the climax to just happen. Everybody's just dying left and right. And it just was like very unsatisfying as a viewer. I mean, the mid-credit scene was definitely giving Marvel. And I was like, okay, wrap this up, land the plane. I'm ready for this to be done. What was the point of the Indians that show up looking for the vampires and then they're never shown again? They just like go off and we never see them again. What was with that? I thought the movie lacked conviction in what it wanted to be, whether it wanted to be a fun action horror film or if it wanted to convey a deeper message. I think if Coogler was trying to make a movie about the exploitation of black culture, that Jordan Peele's execution in Get Out 10 years ago was much more masterful and ages like fine wine to this day. That movie ages so well. And then as a horror film, I also think it's not the best because they have these moments where they're building up the suspense and you're kind of like, okay, like what's gonna happen? And then it just kind of edges you and never actually lets you finish. I went with friends that jump, okay, at movies. They weren't even scared. So it kind of just felt like it fell flat on all fronts for me. I gave it 2 stars because I was still like having fun. Sometimes a bad movie can be like fun and entertaining still, and there were moments of that. And I thought the script at the start was a lot stronger than the second half of the movie. I just felt like it almost felt like he was kind of making it up as he went because there was no clear direction, is what it looked like to me. I also don't appreciate when a director doesn't cut the audience any slack and hold your hand all the way through. It's like, you don't need to spoon feed me every little thing. Like, I can figure some things out for myself. Like, I know what you're trying to tell me. Trust in your direction that you don't need to tell me everything. I didn't like how it starts with how the movie ends. Like, you're kind of already giving away that to me as well. It just wasn't for me. As far as performances, I thought Delroy Lindo was by far the best. He was the only one who I felt like the accent was perfect, and I thought his performance was very believable. Miles Catton, who plays Sammy, I thought his voice was incredible. I actually think Michael B. Jordan is very corny, and I don't really like him, but I actually thought he did a pretty decent job and that the script was just not good, not there, that this is the best he could do with that. I thought that Robert Pattinson did a much better job playing a dual role in Mickey 17, even though the nature of the dual roles are different. I still thought that it wasn't quite up to par. And I know that I am in the minority with this one. If you look at the spread on Letterboxd, it's all like 4.5, 5 stars. Everybody's loving it. I wanted to love it. I promise you. I know I can be a hater, but I actually really wanted to like this one. I just didn't.
We don't care how you felt about the movie. Of course you hated it. You fear what you don't understand. You hate when you can't wrap your mind around. It wasn't meant for you. It wasn't written for you. So we don't give a damn. We know you did this video just to get your likes and views up. You went to the movie. That's good. We got your money. You supported us. We appreciate that. But you can keep your opinion to yourself. You don't understand our history. Where we came from as a people. That's what it was about. Bridging the gap. Showing the history of music that y'all try to take over and keep for yourself. So you can keep your opinion to yourself and your videos, because we do not give a fuck. Simply.
This brings me back to like art school. So many people like this do this thing where they want to seem like they're smart. So they either go against the grain. So like in like a group critique, you might have 1 or 2 people who just don't like your art piece, and it almost feels like they just don't like it because a lot of people do like it. And then the other thing is the people who think that they can add value by trying to critique something that wasn't intended or that isn't even there at all. And I think that this just fits very plainly into those spaces, because a lot of what she said had nothing to do with the actual quality of the movie. It had everything to do with her ability to digest media and her ability to think critically. And in her review, she just lacks any ability to truly look at this perspective, which is a thing that I think is, it could be a language barrier or a cultural barrier. I think there's also just some resistance to accept that there are things that happen that don't need to always be explained, especially if you're someone who likes movies a lot. You'll find that there are a lot of movies that make deliberate choices, and sometimes those choices are good or bad. And then there are movies that do things that are actual just flaws in the movie. So one of the critiques she lobbies is that there's a lot of characters or a lot of moments that get introduced, but there's no resolution. Sometimes that's an intentional choice in order to make someone feel a certain way. Maybe they want you to feel longing for the unexplained moment. A lot of movies do this, very minimally. So they'll do something where they'll leave out a really big question. So you could be like, man, did that spinning top spin all the way or did it fall down? And then you can argue about it. Sometimes they do it more subtly, like this. And it's a film technique and a writing technique that's somewhat common, especially in art spaces. And I think that it's interesting that her critique lacks the ability to look at the film as art, and it really does feel like she's looking at the piece of art as a product, which it's both, but she's only looking at it as a product that is meant to be simple and easy to understand and enjoy. And I think if you feel that way about movies, maybe you shouldn't watch movies. There's plenty of like videos of people dangling keys on YouTube that you can watch, but it's really funny. It also reminded me of like the type of people that would be in the like my art classes, that when you would have to do critiques, meaning you have to put your art out in front of everybody, then everyone would have to say something about it and that they can get credit for their class. People would just say nonsense because they want to fill out their turn, and they didn't want to say what the person next to them said. And it would get to the point where like what people were saying about the art piece meant nothing in relation to the intention of the piece, or it was like an over analysis. Like they'll look at like a generic still life image of a couple of fruits on a table and they'll be like, it's so sad and dramatic. And it's like, it's just fruit on a table. I drew fruit on a table because the assignment was to do a still life. Like, can you analyze my technique, please? So I don't know. I think this video is funny. I obviously don't think the rage bait works. She even tried to rage bait her caption and be like, oh, it's just a joke. It's not a joke for you to make, lady. Like, there's a song about people like you. I believe the lyrics go, they not like us. They not like us.
Pay attention to people and they will tell you exactly what their motivations are. Her first sentence is, a lot of you guys are not gonna like me when I say this. That was the whole point of her video, to get you angry, to rage bait you, to get you to watch the stupid ass video about her opinion on a movie when nobody asked. I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing. But she's gonna tell you anyway because her other videos are getting maybe 2K, maybe 2.5K. This one got 51K people watching that stupid ass. Look, I keep saying stupid ass. I didn't watch the video because I don't really care what she had to say. I'm just pointing out that a person will tell you from the beginning what their point is, and her point is to make a lot of people angry, to come to her page, to give her views. That's literally it. It's clout and possibly dollars.
I want to talk about something.
Disrespectfully,
It's time to get back to our roots around free expression.
shut the fuck up.
Doesn't understand the movie, but what is most hilarious is, baby, they are eating her up in them comments. I'm talking about eating her for lunch like the vampires did on their movie. Tell me you didn't watch the movie and understand the plot without telling me, darling. They tearing her up. They're not turning that girl loose in them comments. I'm talking about she is fighting for her life just like they were in that juke joint. Baby, she don't know if she coming or going. All because she wanted to offer her opinion on something that she could not fully conceptualize, the cultural masterpiece, largely because she does not understand the Black lived experience. I mean, baby, if I was getting drugged that hard, I would delete the video. I'm talking about, if you need any example of one of them people that you don't let in, like they did them vampires on Ryan Coogler's movie, there it is. Nope, you don't come in. And nope, I didn't stitch the video, because I'm not giving anybody any credit. Straight to the block list. Now, you can go ahead and stay outside that door because you are not welcome
seriously
in.
love this. Like, the thing is that most POC people are actually the problem of people that are like me. Like, was it 3 days to 4 days ago? A Latino man came out to talk about how horrific, how, how uninterested the movie was. He even goes out as far as to accuse the producer of stealing some Latino cultures and without involving Latino people in the scene. He goes as far as to mention all of the critic that he think happened in the movie, and he ended up criticizing everything that has to do with the movie. Even if even though Latino people does not even include Afro Latinos in their Telemundo and Telemista or Tele whatsoever that they do, they don't include Latinos? Like, what makes you think that they're going to include black people? And now that black people are beginning to do maybe their thing and trying to like focus and, you know, create something, everybody have a problem. So this Latino man complained and complained, and he was actually put in place. And I was just going through my For You page. Here comes I think she's Indian American woman with her own critics and criticizing. One thing I know for sure is that there is nothing that people that looks like me would do that people would not, criticize them. Let's just take for instance what happened in the Super Bowl. Let's also take for instance with Beyonce. Like, it has always been criticism upon criticism. Like, there's nothing that black people will do that people will see it as something that is so remarkably, that's something that is so, oh my god. But people will always look for, they will always look for fault. They always say that you didn't do this well, you didn't do that well, this is not sitting well with me, this is not sitting well with anyone. Okay, there is something I said during the time of the Super Bowl where everyone, not even black people, every other minority or color people coming for Kendrick Lamar, talking about how the Super Bowl performance was all boring, was all out of place. What I say is that everybody have his or her own, audience. Everybody must like whatsoever you're doing. If you find yourself in a scenario whereby you are not enjoying it, you find yourself out than trying to review what you don't really understand. The same thing happened during the time of, Beyonce. So many people criticizing her that this cowboy stuff is not meant for black people. Country music is not meant for black people. It wasn't introduced for, by black people. It wasn't invented. Like, anytime people actually see that people that looks like me trying to create something or succeeding or put in some effort, they just look for ways to just bring them down. They just want every credit, or they want them to just keep on including them. They just want to keep on ripping. So when I saw this lady with her own critics, I was like, okay, let it roll. We have heard from the Latino man who claimed that the producers told all of the culture from the Latino, the vampire culture from Latino, without including Latino people. That one is so angry with the fact that he is not included. And now this is talking about, like, oh my goodness, like, you should just take a grip. The thing is that people are still seeing this movie. So many people are enjoying it. People are still, giving positive reviews, and there are so many stories behind the movie. So many people learned a lot of their history. So many people are yet to even. So your criticism and all of that it's not going to change anything, right? It's not going to change the movie from not being seen, and from the way you're like, oh, every producer must not do things the way you want. Everybody wants to be different. Everybody wants to be unique in their own way, right? So you are getting confused of how they introduce this vampire scene, and that you thought it was all about music and how music can, have ways, and now they're introducing vampire. Like, everybody have their own idea, even if when a Latino man say that he stole these ideas. So everybody wants their own work to be different and unique. So this might probably be his own unique way, and this might probably be his own idea. So you can also come up with your own and do your thing. Everybody must not necessarily do what you want. Anyway, lovely, so now just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that. Like, and to my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and educate each and every one of us, thank you so much for all the love and support. And to this newest one, thank you for all your love and support. And I will see you, lovelies, when I upload. comment section of what you think of this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that. Like, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.